once again welcome Samir sir to the forum. Samir sir, I hope you enjoyed listening now, members.
Absolutely. Moreover, I just had been thinking when Vikramji had been giving his speech that before writing this book, actually, I should have spoken to Vikramji. And मेरे को कुछ और अच्छे ideas वहां से मिल जाते, which I would have incorporated in my script. But thank you so much, Vikramji, for this much enlightened thinking that you have. Yeah.
Right.
With it, please go ahead.
Indeed, sir. Maybe we can have another version soon.
Sure.
Right. So before we start talking about the book and the characters, the first of all, it's very intriguing for me to know this. Like, you started off your journey in the corporate sector, like, and you rose up to the level of vice president sales of a giant pharmaceutical company. From there, being an voiceover artist, and now as an author. So, is the journey planned, or it just happening?
No, it was not at all planned. Let me tell you very frankly. When I started reading books, when I started jumping into the soft skill training programs kind of a arena, the very first teacher I accepted is Jack Canfield. I presume जानते होंगे लोगों ने. Jack Canfield is a trainer out there in US. So I read a number of books of his, and I categorically remember one, right? So I did not plan it. Of course, I was just looking at 100 meters distance. The path was illuminated, and I kept on walking. And then there was a turn, and then there was a turn, and then there was a turn. I just kept on taking those turns. Then I realized, okay, all right, somehow it's high time I should express my views in different ways. And when I was, attending meetings, organizing meetings, meeting people across India, I realized probably the voiceover is one area where I am interested now. Contents started getting into collections, and then the thoughts started coming out on paper. I thought, all right, let me just express this. But इसी तरीके से there were a number of things which started accumulating, and I kept on walking. And one day I realized, all right, I felt that I should leave corporate, come to hills, live a peaceful and healthy life, and would start enjoying my maybe inner self, which was actually pushing me to speak up for the world, maybe. All right, just getting magnanimous here. All right, please excuse me for saying all this, but this was not planned.
All right. So very well said, sir. I think we just should be only looking at not a far away distance, maybe what's clearly visible at a time. And then I think the path unfolds automatically, I think. And that's what I think how it is happening. So, sir, the question now is, like, why Eklavya? Like, how did you came up to this subject? Because when you were reading all these books, there could have been any topic if you have wanted, you could have picked, but why you chose this subject to write a book?
Very beautiful question. I actually love this question. Why Eklavya? I'll tell you a small story, which is a true one. I was a Toastmasters in Pink City Toastmasters Club out there in Jaipur, which still exists, the Toastmaster Club. And there in the module, I presume everybody knows about it. Module mein, you need to give 10 speeches to clear one level of speeches, and then you go to another level, then you go to another level to complete all the levels. So there was one level where you need to write your script on a character, and then you need to tell the 5 minutes speech you need to give in front of the Toastmasters Club. Then I was just thinking, I mean, it was probably 4 or 5 years back. And then this character, Eklavya, came into my mind. And the flow started, flow of thoughts started flowing. The juices started flowing fast, very fast. It was torrential, I could not handle that torrent of thoughts. And then I prepared a small speech and gave it in front of the Toastmasters. From that day onward, this character got stuck in my mind. It started like this. The speech started like this. I'll just give you 2-3 sentences only. Wouldn't take much of your time here. But because this is a very interesting question to me. That in Mahabharata, there are two characters, Eklavya and Arjun, which are the most powerful characters, considered most powerful archers in the entire epic. One is celebrated, another is forgotten. I had written this script on my book as well, which was there in the Toastmasters speech originally. But the loneliness, the people actually forgot about that character. The loneliness of Eklavya, got attracted to me. I started feeling the loneliness of Eklavya. His mannerism, his character, which was so damn powerful that a teacher like Dronacharya, who was a paragon of teaching, a warrior like Arjun, who's considered to be on the top of the epic, were scared of this small character, Eklavya. Was this character so powerful? ये दोनों लोग आके उसके सामने उसका अंगूठा मांग रहे हैं और a number of things they had been trying to just dismount this character from the main platform. So this thing got attracted to me too much. I mean, I started feeling for Eklavya, and then the plot started accumulating in my mind. All kind of thoughts related to this lonely character, unsung hero, started accumulating. So that is the origin of Eklavya, the script, the thought process, the content, from that day when I gave the first speech in Toastmasters.
Oh, brilliant. So it had to come out in some way or the other. I think what a better way it could have been than a book.
Absolutely.
On
Absolutely.
so, sir, is it a self-help book then? Like if we were to categorize the book, in which category the book will fall into?
It is certainly a self-help book. Certainly a self-help book. When my journey started with reading books around 10, 12 years back, I started with fictions. Certainly, I started with fiction, developed my interest. But very soon, after maybe 2-3 years, I switched totally to non-fictions. So abstract subjects, most of the time self-help. Moreover, these self-help books from Jack Canfield, Joe Vitale, and a number of people, they helped me out in thinking in a different paradigm. Altogether, a different protocol started happening in my life. I started looking at people in a different way, started judging them in a different way, starting feeling empathy, not sympathy. How would I react or how would I say one particular thing if at all I would be there in Vikram sir's shoes or maybe Devansh's shoes or maybe Harsh Vardhan Saab's shoes? What would I say? What would I think? And then I started comparing what they will think and what I will think and what is the difference and what is the connect. So this started developing me in a different paradigm altogether. That's why I thought of going into self-help book instead of going for a fiction one.
All right. So deep-rooted thoughts, sir, and behind the book, it seems. So how long did it take you to finish the book? Because writing a book itself, it's a long process. So how long did it take?
Certainly, it is a long process. Seriously, it is a long process. And I must mention one book here. I had mentioned in my book as well. I had suggested readers to go through that book. The book's name is Bird by Bird. Bird by Janet. I would just let you know. The name of the author always, skips me. Okay, hold on a second.
So no, we'll look on the Google, so no problem.
Sure.
Yes.
By Annie Lamott, ANNELAMOTT, Annie Lamott. Okay, so
Right.
she taught how precisely you can write a book.
Okay.
So very clearly she told that it's a long process. If you really want to write a book, just sit in the front of the computer or page or wherever you want to write it, and keep on staring it. Keep on staring at it. Something will come out of your mind and will start writing. So this book started when I gave the first speech out there in Toastmasters around 3-4 years back. Then serious writing started approximately 1.5 years back when I was in Jaipur. I was in the process of shifting to Bhimtal 1.5 years back. So it was slow, very, very slow. But of course, I was slightly tied up in a number of things. Here, after coming to Bhimtal, I got practically free. Isolation, solitude, peace, no noise, nothing. The thoughts started bombarding myself, and then I started writing. So eventually it took approximately 1.5 years.
All right. So you got yourself into the writing environment, first of all, right? Away from the hustle bustle of the cities and work. So in the foothills and in the woods with cool breeze going on with a cup of coffee, and a typical like writer's mood hona chahiye to write a book.
Correct.
Absolutely. So sir, writing a book is also, it's not an easy process, because you need to be completely involved in the thing, because so many thoughts come to your mind and you need to arrange them, sort them, refine them, and then you need to pen it down. And there are other obligations also, or you can say distractions that that intervenes in between if you are in a regular life. So maybe your friends, your families, and other people's also. So was there a support system that kept you on the task? Because I think to write a book and to be focused on one project for 1.5 years, you need to have a support system in place. So what was your support system?
Most of the time, if you'll ask any author for that matter, the generalized answer comes out that my family actually supported me. That's a most simple and the easiest answer could there be. I must say that, of course, my wife and my son believed in me. I always questioned my capability of writing a book, my ability of writing a book, whether I would really be able to write a proper thing. But they always believed. I mean, never ever deterred from that thought. They never deterred from that thought. They kept on telling me, we know that you can do it. Now it's a matter of how would you do it? How much time will you take it? It's your wish. But we know that you can do it, plain and simple. So the very first supporting system was that. And then, of course, few friends of mine, I have mentioned those friends in my book. They sincerely believed, without a thought of competitiveness or a thought of envy, that this guy is trying to do something. Rather, one of my friends says, still, is a big support system to me. He still says that now when your book is out in the world, you are immortal. You are never going to die, because your writing, your personality is now in the ether, in the world. Yes. The book is going to exist forever. Maybe after thousands and thousands of years, somebody would, open the Kindle and will find your book. So that's a beautiful support system I had. I must say, everybody has it. हमें सिर्फ देखने की जरूरत है, अगल बगल देखेंगे ना. I might find it in you. I very well might it in Mukesh ji. I very well find it in Pooja ji. I mean, I can get it. You can get it. It's a support system I had.
Yes. And so in order to be immortal, write a book.
Write a book.
Absolutely. So the book promo talks about the most debatable question, and we also discuss that question in our opening remarks from our members. So who's a better archer, Arjuna or Eklavya? So according to the book, who is the better archer? And why? If you could give us the reason, yes.
According to me, the answer is very, very simple, extremely simple. Think about it. Many people are here who might be in marketing. So there is a term called demarketing. You start degrading one product, start speaking bad about a product, and the marketing of that product starts. If you say few sentences which are wrong about a movie, people rush to see that movie. If at all there is a conflict in a book, and you say there is a conflict in the book and there is some trash in the book, people start picking up the book and start reading it. What trash is there in that book?
Correct.
So I would just like to connect it here. If at all, so I would answer this question in a backward manner, backward engineering. If at all Arjun was the greatest archer, why he was so damn scared of Eklavya that he went out there, poked his teacher to ask for the thumb of Eklavya, to practically disable him to do the archery? If at all Arjun was so great, why he was so scared about of Eklavya? He should not have been. Eklavya, if at all, that means that clearly shows that Eklavya was the better archer. Otherwise, there was no need. If at all Arjun would have been thinking that I am the greatest one, and seriously, he would have been greatest one, he should not have been scared of Eklavya. This scariness of Arjun makes Eklavya a better archer, plain and simple.
So you also talked about, is our society having Eklavya and Arjun? So what do you mean by that?
I had discussed the law of eligibility in this book. The person gets eligible. The person becomes eligible to get a knowledge. Even I had mentioned this in my Hindi version. गीता में श्री कृष्ण ने भी ये चीज कही है. एक सेंटेंस गीता में श्री कृष्ण ने कहा है, जिस वक्त भी व्यक्ति पात्र बनता है, गुरु प्रकट होता है. You become eligible and the teachings, the knowledge, the enlightenment automatically comes to you. Okay, so where is the question lies of whether we have Arjun or Eklavya in our society today? Yes, we do have Arjun as well as Eklavya in our society today. Arjuns are those eligibles जिनको द्रोणाचार्य मिल गए. Eklavya are those eligibles who did not have any support system or who did not have any teacher to teach them. To give you the smallest example and the most popular example of Eklavya in today's era, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name. He's the teacher out there in Bihar who is teaching all the students to get through IIT. What's his name?
Anand.
Anand.
Yes, Mr. Anand Kumar.
Mr. Anand. Now look at this guy. I consider him as the perfect example of Eklavya. Perfect example of Eklavya. Something like, if at all I just imagine him doing Eklavya's work, that some Dronacharya might have asked a thumb out of Anand's hand so that he could not do archery or he could not get through IIT. He has started making so many Eklavya. वो सारे बच्चों को फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट पढ़ा के उनको वो एकलव्य बना रहा है. He is getting those children through IIT. Moreover, I had mentioned this in my book. There are a number of NGOs, there are a number of schemes of good people who have actually recognized the worth of Eklavya, who have recognized the worthiness of this law, the law of eligibility. Probably they might not be knowing this term, the law of eligibility, but they understand the meaning of it and they had done something about it. So I have mentioned in this my book. So you can always go to the link and you can visit their websites. Government of India is involved in this.
Beautiful.
So they are available.
It's a beautiful concept you shared here. If you become eligible, you will find a teacher. It's a very deep rooted thought, sir, because actually we often complain that we have not found maybe a godfather or someone who can show us the light. That is why I wasted so many years in life. And now what's the point of thinking about it? The time has already gone by.
Correct.
So this law of eligibility you're talking about. So how would I know that am I eligible or not? And if I'm not, then how can I reach to that level of eligibility? Is this book talking about that functionality also?
Absolutely. I have given a roadmap. I have addressed parents, support systems, peer group, teachers, coaches, even the candidates themselves. फर्ज कीजिए कोई छोटा बच्चा है who can understand these concepts. I mean, not to say that third class or fourth class or maybe eighth class guy, some okay personality who can understand these concepts, or somebody can actually help the candidate to understand these concepts. He can make his roadmap. How would I become eligible? How would I practice a particular skill to become the Eklavya or the Arjun? But the first question I would like to answer or address here, which you asked me, how would I know that I am becoming an eligible person? All right. So for that matter, I had given a number of options out there. We need to identify what am I good at. In my YouTube video channel, I have made a video on this particular topic only. What am I good at? मेरे अंदर प्रतिभा है क्या? I know chartered accountancy. I know engineering. Maybe I know banking. But am I really good at that? Am I really deep down interested in that? Do I forget myself when I'm doing that? Or am I, I'm gone. I'm invisible when I'm, making a music or writing a book or painting or maybe gardening. So we need to find out what am I good at.
करेक्ट सर. और आई थिंक हमारा मोस्टली जो दुविधा है वो इसी में है कि मेरे में अच्छा है क्या या फिर मेरे में अच्छा है क्या.
I understand. I
तो
understand.
इन दोनों के अंदर ही जद्दोजहद रहती है. Alright sir, so what this book is aiming at, your book, how do you want to impact the readers through this book?
Okay. Plain and simple message I would like to convey to the society, to the world, that if at all we can find out our eligibility, in what part, in what skill we can become legend, and if at all everybody can do that, how beautiful this world be. I would be doing one particular thing in which I am the legend, I am the expert. You would be doing the best thing in which you are the legend. Everybody. Then there would not be any jealousy. There would not be any conflict. मैं तुमसे लड़ने नहीं आऊंगा मेरे भाई कि तुमने मेरी पार्किंग की जगह पर पार्किंग क्यों की. I would not come out and fight with you because I'm contented, you are contented. I'm taking care of you and you are taking care of me. Everybody is taking care of each other. There is no conflict. Moreover, we are totally satisfied. I'm not looking at your package. You're not looking at my earnings. Everybody's happy. I understand. This is a very utopian kind of a concept. I had written down in this book. It's a very utopian kind of a concept that everybody's happy, everybody's no jealousy, no conflict of opinions. I understand that. But we are, seriously, if at all, थोड़ा सा ब्रॉड माइंडेडली सोचें आज की डेट में ना, देखें, ऑब्जर्व करें. We are actually heading towards these utopian thoughts. Our cities are more clean. Our environment is slowly getting cleaned. We are getting aware about organic eating. We are staying away from cold drinks. Are we not? We are getting aware. Slowly and steadily, we are getting aware. I just wish to fasten up this process by getting eligible. I want parents to read this, understand this, so that they can look towards their kids. I want to urge coaches, teachers. I want to urge peer groups, friends. If one friend is singing good, and another friend should actually support him. If one friend is making good engineering models, few friends should actually support him. This thought I want to inculcate in the society.
Beautiful, sir. And I hope this book may catalyze this ongoing process. That's what we hope. So a few last questions before we open up the forum for people to ask questions to you. What is the most interesting piece in this book, which is very much close to your heart? There must be many incidents you talked about in the books. Which is the one that is close to your heart?
Okay. I had been, the closest one is when I had been searching for the eligibility, and I had named one chapter in the book. Uh, uh, the title of that chapter is Grandpa Eligible. Grandpa Eligible. So when I had been searching for that, uh, for that title, for that chapter, I found one extremely interesting character, extremely interesting character, which I would like to name here. She was 80 years old, this lady. Okay, hold on a second, please. I'm slightly terrible with names. That's why. I mean, I'm extremely happy that I remember your name with it.
सर नाम में क्या रखा है? शेक्सपियर ने कहा है, नीचे अपना नाम भी लिखा है उसने.
क्या बात है, क्या बात है. Okay, so her name was Moses. Moses, Grandma Moses. Okay, she was 60. Sorry, she was 60 years of age when she picked up the brush, painting brush, for the first time in her life. And then she kept on painting for another 40 years.
100 years.
She died at the age of 110.
Oh.
Okay. For another 40 years, she kept on painting, and 150 paintings she painted. Think about it, yaar. A person picks up the brush or a skill or a interest at the age of 60, and for next 40 years वो पेंटिंग करती रही, and उसकी सारी paintings आज की डेट में celebrities हैं. All these paintings are being purchased or auctioned in big auction houses. So I found this particular character, and this reading was so damn interesting. Somehow I started connecting myself with this lady. You're right. I mean, I started feeling like I'm there. And then thinking about all those abstract topics, protocols, maybe voiceover, maybe contents, I started loving myself. I felt like I'm on the right path. Maybe it might going to take another 20 years for me to become a legend. I'm okay. I'm ready to slot. I'm absolutely ready to slot. So that is one thing which I liked the most in this book.
Yes, and then this is correctly showing the points that Mukeshji and Vikramji talked about: never giving up, practicing, determination, dedication. And age is no bar. Generally, what people think, like maybe after 50, 40 or 60 years, they think now it's time to hang up the boots. Instead, you can pick up a skill, and if you can give up good length of year, maybe perhaps you can become a legend. So maybe no legend till the age of 50, and next 50 years you'll be a legend. So it's a nice way. Maybe life can. Yes.
Moreover, I would just like to make a point here. Another chapter's name is Boon to Our Elders. BOON. Boon to Our Elders. This is name of the chapter in my book, where I have requested the readers to inspire, to motivate, to make our elders understand this. Because if they pick up these kind of an eligibility law, if they become eligible, I must tell you, friends, you would not imagine what kind of wonderful results will come. The very first thing is they'll start living their life so beautifully, so fulfilling, so happily, that we young person would start getting envied to them. You people might have heard or read about that book, Ikigai.
Yes, sir.
Ikigai is all about this. I mean, that particular village in Japan, the youngest elder out there is 100 years of age. The youngest elder. Baki to wahan par 125, 135 years ke bhi log hain. And they are doing wonderful things. They are repairing motorcycles, motorbikes. They are doing gardening. They are teaching gardening. They are dancing. They are singing. 100 years of age. Think about it. Just let's have a look at our mummy, papa. What are they doing? I mean, we can motivate them to learn a new language, maybe start singing, maybe start, making music, maybe start chartered accountancy again. Why not? They can teach us a number of things. मेरी माँ मुझे सिखा सकती है कि हल्दी के क्या-क्या usage हो सकते हैं. I mean, think about it.
Correct.
The thoughts are unlimited, limitless.
Absolutely. At least you can always have something to go for at any age. And
Precisely.
perhaps that will keep you going. Else, a life without purpose and goals maybe will not be that exciting. Perhaps that's what I think the idea here is. I think that is indeed the most interesting piece as you shared, sir. So definitely we would go for this boon to our elders, right?
Boon to all elders. Yes, I have mentioned this lady who had been painting. I had written the last sentence, the punchline. She lived long to paint these paintings, or the paintings kept her alive. What happened? Vice versa.
Yes. Oops. Deep thoughts, deep thought. Food for thought, in fact, at least we can do some introspection, no matter at what age we are. But yes, generally we live our life in a typical stereotype fashion, wherein I think we have put dates and ages to every achievement, right? Maybe by 20, this should be happening, by 30, this should be happening, and 35. And life doesn't work that way. Things can turn around at any time, and it's quite dynamic, it's quite fluid. And by just putting these and making these decades of compartments, like 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe we are restricting ourselves at some way or the other. So we should unleash ourselves and just let our oneself flow, and your instincts and your innate talent. So to be an eligible, right? So my final question: how do I get the copy of it?
See, if you want a signed copy, send me the address.
I hope the signed copy will price the same.
And rest, it's available on Amazon, it's available on Flipkart. Moreover, if at all you want to order in bulk, just in case you like this book to be distributed to a number of people, like somebody might have been, I mean, few of my friends actually did it. When they came to know about this book, they bought the book, they read it, and they liked it so much that they bought it in bulk. One guy bought 50 copies, another guy bought 15 copies. So there my publisher provides some discounts for the bulk purchases. If at all you want to do that, I mean, you just get in touch with me. I'll connect to my publisher and they'll give you the discount.
So otherwise, for the signed copy, what we need to do?
Send me the address, plain and simple.
Okay.
I'll sign the book. I'll send it to you, plain and simple.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, sir. And indeed, it's a very enriching discussion. I would say many deep-rooted thoughts were surfaced in our interaction, and the word eligible really is something a very catchy word, because in order to achieve something, you've got to be eligible. So yes, we often wish that we get all these things, but we don't check, are we eligible to get that success? So we need to work on our eligibility first, and I think then things will start falling into place. So thank you so much, sir, for the interaction. So